All right, welcome to the Sweet Science of Fighting Jiu-Jitsu instructional channel. We've got James and Ryan here again. Ryan's going to take us through a back attack from side control, a unique one that you probably haven't seen before. So make sure you go down in the description. There's a link to the Sweet Science of Fighting Underground there. You can submit your matches for breakdowns from Ryan and ask any technical questions there. So check it out.
Okay, back attack from side control. I used to use this a lot when I was a brown belt, typically because I was focusing a lot on twister back control. And so a lot of times when you see a lot of 10 Planet stuff, this is all Eddie Bravo kind of stuff where you'd walk out, you capture the top leg, you scoop it, and then you roll, and you get to the back. All that's legit, it works. However, everybody figured that out as they figure out everything. So I had to figure out a way that, here's the problem with the position, just like any position, is there's always a weak link somewhere. So when I get here, it turns out that if it's actually really difficult to get someone's leg here, you really have to depend on them kind of shrimping towards you, right? And partners don't always do that. And even when they do do this, me trying to capture this top leg and drag this in and get it here, or any variation. Some guys are just starting to roll now before they even throw the leg over, and this makes sense because you're skipping steps. But back in the day when I was trying to grab this leg and pull this in, they immediately respond to this, and they can kick back, and they really start to monitor this now. So what I used to do is I acted like I wanted to go to mount. Okay, so I would put my arm on the leg here, and maybe I can pull them, but I usually can't. I'm going to take my outside leg, and I am going to cross over the top leg, as you would do with the normal twister setup from side control. But I'm actually going to capture the leg here. Okay, so I'm going to put my leg almost like I want to go to mount, and they're anticipating mount here because I'm going to start to get up. And this is kind of why the move works. Is that once I go up, they're anticipating mount, so their hands, they're trying to go flat in their hands, but I'm already going towards the legs. So if you notice here, my top leg is actually scooping both legs. It's not going to attack just the one leg. So when I roll here to my shoulder, he was thinking mount, but I'm not, is my legs can actually figure four. And I did this in the gi a lot, okay? But it turns out this works really well in no gi. So when I figure four, this kind of changes things because I have full control of his hips, right, and his legs. And as I extend away, it produces this position. I capture the hip, the shoulder, I shrimp out, and then I can actually start to attack the back from here. It's a really simple setup, and I'll be honest, I used to have a drilling dummy at home, one of the stuffed ones, and I would just drill this over and over. That's kind of how I learned how to do this. I didn't see it anywhere. But it came from the idea that I could not actually just capture the top leg by itself. It was much easier just to capture both legs. So, and it seems more controlling as well because it pinches the legs together. So we do actually have to get into this reverse kesa position, which in my opinion, this reverse kesa, especially this low, is no good. You generally want your reverse kesa to be walking back and being high up. Maybe that'll be another video sometime, but when I find myself here switching to reverse kesa, I do want to pull this, but I'm targeting the crook of his knee here. Okay, I go for the crook of the knee. So, but again, they anticipate that I'm going to do this. I'm going to actually turn and go here. This is generally what people think is going to happen. Because I'm doing this, and they think that, they'll typically frame out on me here, like they're pushing me away, and this actually helps me. And that makes sense because if I start to try to turn here, go ahead and frame, and turn here, he can actually get his guard back, right? So that makes sense for them to start framing out on me to keep me low. Everyone knows you don't want somebody to turn mount and you be way up here. I mean, this is terrible for the person on bottom. So it makes sense for the person to be framing away from you to keep the person on top far away. So when I get here and I pull the leg, maybe I pull the leg, maybe I don't get it across, but I'm going to just go to the step. And then once I get here, he frames out and I turn. Once I turn, I can figure four my legs and extend them away, capture the hip, release, scoot, and then attack the back. Cool? So I found this to be an extremely effective and somewhat effortless way to attack the back without having to try to fight that top leg for some sort of lockdown position. Yeah? So it's just another option you can use when attacking the back from side control.